These rocky shores where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, it's these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, it's these rocky shores, they are home to me.
Whenever I leave here, it hurts me so, with tears in my eyes. Oh, I hate to go. There ain't no work, and the kids need new clothes. The bills need paying, so I must go.
These rocky shores where I call home, where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores, it's where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they're home to me.
I think to myself, where did it all go? The life I once had on the ocean's mighty road. My tears in my eyes and my head in my hands, away from my family, I hope they understand.
That is these rocky shores where I call home, it's where my heart longs to be. Whenever I roam, yes, these rocky shores where I long to be. Yes, these rocky shores, they are home to me. Yes, these rocky shores, they are home to me.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include contaminated moose, official opening of the heliport, St. John's Central Ice Storms win a regional softball tournament. These stories plus community events, the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack and more coming up after this.
Limmy Ridge, Hong Kong, Dieppe, Caen, Cap Yong. I'm Cliff Chatterton. In the War Amps Never Again video series, the stories are told by the Canadian volunteers who were there. Learn about the Newfoundlanders and Gallipoli, the murder of 130 Canadian POWs in Normandy, the award of a U.S. presidential citation to a Canadian regiment in Korea. The War Amps, preserving Canada's military heritage.
Approximately 3 weeks ago, a local hunter made a startling discovery with his moose meat. Larry Rhymes was quite happy to have failed his moose license, but the feeling was short-lived. When Mr. Rhymes took his meat to be cut up, this is what he discovered. Worms, lots of them. Mr. Rhymes immediately took the meat to the wildlife officer to be inspected. Mr. Rhymes was issued another license and the moose meat destroyed. We spoke to Mr. Ward Strickland and he informed us that this was the worst case he has seen. Only 2 cases of these worms has been reported in moose meat this year, none in caribou meat. Mr. Strickland told us that hunters should check the organs, either the heart or the liver, of a moose or a caribou by making a series of cuts. If the animal is contaminated, it will be seen in these organs. Mr. Strickland also stated that if a hunter does find his meat to be contaminated, bring it to the wildlife office for inspection. The wildlife officer, in following with his own division guidelines, will decide what action should be taken. Mr. Strickland stated that they did not give a yes or a no on the safety of eating meat either at a carcass or cut-up stage. If there are obvious areas of disease, the answer is easy. However, in any wild product, the risk is assumed by the owners. If it doesn't look good or smell good, don't eat it. On Monday of this week, we were invited to the Calder Healthcare Centre for the official opening of the heliport.
On behalf of the staff and the clients of Calder Healthcare Centre, I want to welcome all of you to the official opening of the Calder heliport and to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to help celebrate the occasion. Also, the Town Council sends their regrets that due to prior commitment they are unable to attend, but seeing that I've been a resident of the community for the past 4 years and paid my taxes up to date, it gives me the privilege of welcoming you on their behalf. And now we'll call on Mr. Calvin Parsons, our MHA, for virtual foil, with greetings from the government of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Ms. Staples-Payne, Dr. Parsons, ladies and gentlemen, certainly nice to be here. You really got me in a little bit of a bind today, because being an old typical Newfoundlander, you notice it begins with a H. You're a heliopad. I always had a big problem with words with H in it as well. But in any case, congratulations to the Calder Healthcare Centre on opening the heliport. And I'd like to say congratulations as well to the people who worked on it. Certainly did a magnificent job with the construction. And I guess it may not be a big thing like opening a hospital and having some of the more important and valuable pieces of equipment in an institution, but it's another small piece in what is a very big puzzle when it comes to healthcare. And without all the pieces, of course, there's just no proper picture. So it's nice to see that we're still getting the little pieces to make this picture hopefully be picture perfect when we're finished. It's certainly going to be, it's certainly necessary, first of all, and it's certainly going to be much used, I would think. I hope much less used in terms of medical emergencies, but for transporting people under more pleasant circumstances and bringing in supplies and that by all means. I notice there's no one here from HRDC, but the cost and the funding, of course, I understand, for the helipad is a federal government contribution. So the federal government, I think, is certainly deserving of some credit as well for providing the funds necessary to make this possible. Again, I look forward to seeing the ribbon being cut, and I'm sure some of the ladies who brought your overcoats won't mind going outside either.
Thank you. We're really cognizant now of the H. Okay. Some of Port Ambassador as well. Also, bring regrets on behalf of HRDC representatives Larry Peckford and Brian House. I got the message from Craig Hillier that they're unable to attend, but again, they wanted to welcome everybody and to thank everybody for attending. Now I call on Dr. Eric Parsons, CEO for Western Healthcare Corp, for remarks from the Western Healthcare.
Thanks very much, Rose. I hope I'm not expected to fill in all of the gaps that were left by the individuals who are unable to come. But I would like to welcome you to this opening today. I feel like a bit of an imposter coming down here and being the individual who's standing up here at the opening today, because I and Western Healthcare Corporation have played a very minor role in the development of and the organization and all of the things that needed to be done in order to get this heliport in place. I have trouble with my H's too sometimes. In order to get this heliport in place, the work has really been done by a number of the individuals in the community and a couple of staff who Rose will mention subsequent to my remarks. Our role and my role has been very minor, although I'm very pleased and proud to be here, and obviously see the heliport as a major advantage to the services that we provide in this area. It was only about a month ago, I guess, that I first had the opportunity of coming down on the helicopter and using the helipad and going down to Grey River and Francois and Grand Bret and so on. And without that, obviously, we're not going to be able to provide the comprehensive services that we're now providing. And you know, today is an example of the use that we're going to be able to put that heliport to. It's a major advantage to patients who have to be transferred out, as is obviously going to occur from time to time, in that they, you know, can be kept in the hospital until the helicopter is here. There's one transfer from bed to the helicopter rather than that dual transfer into the ambulance. So I see that as a major benefit. The actual partnership that was developed here between HRDC, Western Healthcare Corporation, and the Burgeo Development and Diversification Board is something that, if you look at our mission statement, is something that we want to pursue as much as possible over the years ahead. We see partnerships such as this as being really beneficial to the care that we're able to provide. We can no longer afford duplicated service. We can no longer do everything ourselves, and if we really want to improve our services, we're really going to need to work in partnership with the folks in the community, the municipal councils, and representatives of government in order to improve the services that we provide. I'd like to thank you for coming. I'd like to thank Rose for the work that she's done, and the other employees here who have participated in this project. And I look forward to hopefully landing in the helipad a few times, because I think the regular communication or trips that are coming now is something that we can certainly use within the organization for improving our services that we provide. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I guess with every project, there's always a couple of people who really stand out for the amount of work that they put into it. And on this occasion, we do have 2 employees that we'd like to recognize. And so on behalf of Western Healthcare Corp and the Calder Healthcare Center, I'm going to call on John Grant to accept a gift of appreciation. John put in many, many hours of extra work above and beyond what was expected, I think. And so I just want to let him know that we certainly appreciate what he did and to offer this as a gift of recognition. Also, in addition to John, Lloyd James had asked Lloyd to come forward as well. Lloyd as well put in many, many hours picking up materials, keeping invoices straight, and all these types of things. So Lloyd, again. On behalf of Western Healthcare Corp and Calder Healthcare Center, thank you very much. So now we can go outdoors and brave the cold weather. So the ribbon cutting ceremony is Dr. Eric Parsons and Mr. Craig Hilliard from the BDDP. And we had asked for a representative of HRDC, but they were not unable to make it. So I'll ask John Grant if he would like to step in there. So we'll proceed to the helicopter guest.
The welcome and speeches, all the guests went to the heliport site for the ribbon cutting ceremony. As if on cue, an helicopter arrived to show just how convenient this service will be to our hospital and town. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
The lawnmower cut off my foot. I slipped down to wet feet and got my hand caught in the mixer tube.
And I went right under the boat, and the motor, it cut my leg.
In a new video by the War Amps called Spot the Danger, kids in the Champ program warned that safety is no accident. For more information about the Play Safe program or Spot the Danger, please contact the War Amps.
Play safe.
On Saturday, October the 2nd, The St. John Central I Storms, that's the girls' softball team, traveled to St. George's for the regional softball tournament. With their team, Ingrid Strickland, Dana Pink, Julia Benoit, Dana Sims, Donna Sims, Carolyn Green, Amy Seymour, Jennifer Spencer, Denise Thatcher, and Jill Warren, coaches Doris Pink and Grace Abbott brought their girls to victory. They won 4 out of 4 games. The winning game was won with a score of 20-11 in favor of the Storms. Most of the girls played ball during the summer, but only started to practice as a team in September. This weekend, the team traveled to Lamoline for the provincial softball tournament. We wish the girls every success, and we look forward to speaking with them when they return. We would also like to mention that the boys also played on Saturday, October 2nd. Although they didn't win, they only lost the winning game by 1 point. The girls were quick to point out that the boys' team played really well. Staff at the St. John Central I School held a parent-teacher night on Thursday, October the 14th. This is the first in recent memory. It was organized to meet new teachers and our new principal, Mr. Scott Lanahan. Approximately 60 parents attended. Mr. Lanahan welcomed parents and got them involved in an activity called People Bingo. This activity encouraged parents and teachers to ask each other questions. He then went over some of the school's policies, our school credits, call-home system, tests, and school council. Mr. Lanahan also informed parents about a newsletter that students were working on. It will be sent home in November and will include things like what's happening at school, upcoming events, programs, and activities. The first will be free, but the next issue will cost 50 cents to cover the cost of the paper and photocopying. It was an informal evening, one which parents and teachers seemed to enjoy. At the end of the evening, Mr. Lanahan gave T-shirts with Parent Teacher 1999 logo on the front to the winners of the People Bingo and the trivia game. The winners were Millie Durnford, Guyanne, Laura Han, and Agnes Cloger. We congratulate Mr. Hanahan and teachers at the St. John Central High on a successful parent-teacher night, and we look forward to a repeat performance. Stay with us for Off the Rack, community events, and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
Dear Mrs. Coleman, you don't know me, but I know you know my old red house at the end of the lane. Please forgive me for tracking you down, but I had to thank you. I'm not sure what inspired your kindness. Oh, it's a godsend. Since my wretched hip surgery, just getting to the end of the lane and back takes nearly half an hour, and sometimes the pain just isn't worth it. You brought me something much more important than newspapers. You brought me the understanding that it's the small, the simple things that really help people.
If you're doing just a little, you're helping a lot. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Off the Rack. As the weather turns colder, our thoughts turn to winter and what it will bring. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of a winter storm that we experienced and the things that winter can bring. Let's look back to February 1996.
Good evening and welcome to the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. I'm Jennifer Mark. Do you have some concerns that you would like answers to? Maybe our MHA Kelvin Parsons can help. Mr. Parsons will be hosting a constituency clinic at the council chambers of the Bridgeville Town Hall on Tuesday, October 19th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you wish to meet with Mr. Parsons, please call 1-800-518-9479 to make an appointment. Are you interested in finding out more about the BDDB? Would you like to know who the members are? The Bridgeville Diversification Development Board will hold its annual meeting and election of officers on Monday, October 18th at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. The guest speaker will be Mr. Kelvin Parsons. Come to the meeting and meet the development officer and other board members. Are you ready to do your written test for your driver's license? Maybe you are prepared to do your road test, or do you just need a photo ID done? The driver examiner will be in Bridgeville on Wednesday, October 20th to provide all these services. Mark it on your calendar. Attention all TV bingo lovers. The Bridgeville Lions are giving you a chance to win $300 on Wednesday, October 20th. The cards are only $1 each or 6 for $5 and are available from any Lions member or are in most stores around town. Pick up your cards today and support the Bridgeville Lions. The winner of the Lioness TV Bingo, held on Wednesday, October 13th, was Gwen Green. Congratulations, Gwen. Do you think a breakfast program at school is a good idea? The A.J. Matthews School is in the process of trying to determine if this program will be beneficial to the students and if parents would be willing to help. A survey was sent home, and it would be greatly appreciated if you would turn the survey to school by Monday, October 18th. If your group or organization has an upcoming event planned, we will be happy to broadcast it for you. Just call the BBS office by Wednesday of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That includes the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. See you next week.
BBS Playbill. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for a rebroadcast of Pansy's Garden. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing Lions TV Bingo. Following the bingo, we will have a video entitled With Camera and Gun in Newfoundland. Tune in on Thursday when we'll have a rebroadcast of the Sand and Sea Festival Entertainment with Hurricane. Join Pansy and the gang for 2 stories, a craft, and lots of fun on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on Pansy's Garden. Next Sunday at 6:30 p.m. we will have a worship service from the Anglican Church. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Please stay tuned now from the entertainment from the Sand and Sea Festival featuring Hurricane. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night.